Hi guys. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about swing flags. As you can hear, I'm a little bit under the weather. Actually running a little bit of a fever too, so give me a little extra grace today. But I had someone who got a pair of swing flags and they didn't know how to use them, so I did promise that I would shoot a how-to video so that she would have some help. So here I am. I've dotted some swing flags for myself, and I'm going to do a how-to for you. I know in my intro video I talked a little bit about this, so I won't take too long, but just so you understand how swing flags are constructed, essentially it's just a square of the silk fabric, and it has a weight running along one corner. And so it's this corner here, okay? And so you can use swing flags a number of ways, but the typical way you're going to use it is you're going to grab in the center of the longest side where the weight is. Okay, so here is your longest side, and here's about the center, and you can tell this is the weighted side because it keeps going down like there's weight in it. Now, if you haven't seen my how-to video on how to use wings, you may want to look at that because a lot of the same moves work here as well. But the big thing is with swing flags that's kind of nice is that it's a little harder to hurt people with. So if you're worshiping in a corporate setting, these come in so handy because you can smack people with it all day. And I mean, unless you really get them at an odd angle going fast and you hit them in the eye, you really are not going to hurt somebody with this. So unlike regular flags or wings with a stick in them that you can smack somebody with, or the boy where you've got the weight and can conk somebody in the head, it's very difficult to hurt somebody with a swing flag. So these also work great if you're talking about for kids. The kids at my church love these, again, because they're fun to use. Now, one of the, I don't want to call it a drawback, but one of the other considerations is the fact that because it doesn't have a stick, it doesn't really look like a flag until it's in motion. So you can see, unlike if I was holding a flag, when I'm holding this, it's just kind of sagging down. So unlike, hold on, I'm going to grab one since I have some handy. So unlike this wing, right, which I can hold this wing and I can just, do almost nothing to it, and it still looks like something's happening because of the fact that it has a stick, right? So your arm can be not in motion, right, and it still is out there. Unlike that, with the swing flag, it has to be in motion, okay? So otherwise, it's just hanging like this. Now, that means that to have it fanning out, looking like a flag, your arm has to be in motion a lot. Now I'm going to show you some of the easiest ways where it's not going to work your arm out as much so that your arm can last for an extended period of time in worship, because it can get tiring if your arms are out of shape. Now obviously my arms are out of shape, but I have to say that with using them I definitely have gotten more used to it. So anyway, so those are just a couple of quick pointers before we get started on this. So I'm going to show you a couple of moves holding on to this part here. Okay, so one of the things I first just want to show you is the fact that with these, you don't have to make them straighten out to get them to start to fan out. Literally, just as you're swinging your arm, it will start to fan out because the weight will automatically pull itself forward. Now sometimes it does get twisted and it may not open out all the way up. But the beautiful thing about this is you can just be sort of swaying in worship and just kind of let your arms flow, and it's going to start moving. Okay, now you can see that I've gotten a little bit twisted here, but the thing is it's fabric, so you can literally just start moving your arm. So I'm literally doing nothing but just swinging my arm here, and it's fanning out, okay? And so that's one of the lovely things is you can be doing this, and I'm going to show you some stuff with two later, but you could definitely do this with two in your hand, and you're just swinging back and forth, and it's still just going to give you can even be worshiping with one hand while you're just swinging the other one back and forth, okay? So obviously you can do that, but the beautiful thing is since there's not a stick in it, you can let it get twisted and untwist. So one of the first basic moves that we're going to do is it's the same figure eight that we've used before. You're going to go this way, and you're going to go this way. You're going to go this way, and you can see from my wrist, I'm literally this way, this way, this way, this way. So I'm just doing a figure eight on its side, I guess an infinity sign. So that's all we're doing here. So you're just swinging back and forth. And you can do this high, you can do it low, you can do it fast, you can do it slow, however you want to do it. Okay, so that's your first basic easy move. Now, I can also take this same figure eight move and I can make it look a little fancier by making it up over my head. So I'm going to do one over my head and down, and over my head and down, and over. It's still the same figure eight. And so you can pull it fast so that it gets a little bit more of a wind sound and it'll whip a little bit more. These are just a couple of just easy moves. Now, I can also, again, just swinging with the same figure 8 and I'm just going back and forth. Now I can fancy this up a little bit by adding an extra twist in there. So I'm going to stay on this side and do a twist. Then I'm going to come back over here and do an extra twist. And what you're going to see is that it's actually twisting it. Okay, so I'm going to stop so you can see it. So it's actually twisted right now. Because it's fabric, it doesn't really make any difference. It's not going to injure the way that it looks at a distance. You just have to remember to undo it. Okay? So when you come over to the other side, you're just going to swing it back out again. So I'm swinging it in, now I've got an extra twist. When I come over here, I swing it back out. And so literally you can just go back and forth and you can do 2 or 3. I mean, you can sit here and wrap it up as many times as you want. Now I've got it wrapped up a bunch right now. You can see the flag is starting to shrink. I can just flip it and go the other direction, and it'll start to unshrink. So again, the beautiful thing about swing flags is their versatility, because it's hard to do anything that's really wrong. You just stay in motion and you can kind of dance with them. And so I enjoy them a lot. I think they're a lot of fun and they look beautiful in motion. And so those are just some of the basic moves, and honestly, most of the videos you've seen of me use combinations of those. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with pairs, which are basically going to be the same moves, just doing it with 2. So hang on, let me get the other flag. Okay, so I've got 2. And so basically, first I just want to show you how I can just do the swing back and forth with 2. So I'm just enjoying the music, which by the way is available for free online at musictopray.com. I just love it. They have regular podcasts and it's beautiful. So I suggest that you go download some and support that ministry. So anyway, so you can just move back and forth, and you can see that I've got one that's kind of twisted up, and it'll come untwisted eventually here. I'm actually going to make it untwist. And so you can do where you're doing now, I'm just doing the figure 8s a little bit bigger, and I'm just doing them sort of in parallel. I'm doing the exact same thing with both. And so you can do stuff like this, and you can do it while you move. Now, some people can do much trickier moves than this. I am not that coordinated to do this, syncopated. I couldn't think of the word. I'm sorry, I have brain fog. You know how that is when you're feeling a little under the weather. But you also can do mirrored, okay? And so this is a fun one for mirrored, where you're just doing the same thing, but you're doing it on opposite sides. And so it just makes a kind of fun, big feel. I found that one day, really liked that. One of the other fun things is that if your arms start to get tired, you can take both in one hand and use them both together, which just gives an even bigger sound. And so here, I'm doing both together. I can actually even switch it up a little bit, and so what you're going to see is I'm going to actually allow my hand to move down the length until I'm holding it here as I'm worshiping, and then I'm going to separate and grab both of them. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. I've done it before. We'll see whether I'm this coordinated when I'm under the weather. Okay, so I'm starting at the middle, and I'm going to let my hand start to go down. You can see that my tail is shrinking and the front end is getting longer, because you can tell that it's doing more lob kind of motions. And basically what I can do here is I can grab it in the middle, even while it's still in motion, and I'm going to separate it out. And so that way I can go from using 1 to using 2 again, because I'm using the 2 as though they're 1. And so I can do like this, and then if I ever want to bring it back together again, I can literally just do it like that. And then I'm doing it all as one again. Anyway, those are just a couple of moves. One of the other things you can do is if you want to, if you want a longer tail, you can actually grab it in a different place. You could grab it at the middle of the short end. Okay, so here's my short side. And if I grab it here, it still works the same. It's just that my tail is much longer. So it's just, again, it's a preference. It depends on what you want to do. That's the beautiful thing about these, is there's not really a wrong way. You can just play with them as much as you want. And so you can never try to do 2 with it with a longer tail, but we can try it. See? So it's pretty simple. Anyhow, those are just some of the basics on how to use swing flags. And again, there are people who are way more talented than I at using these and doing syncopated things where they're like going over and under and all over the place, and I haven't been able to get to there yet. So if you have got a set of the Dyed For You swing flags and you can do that, shoot us a how-to video so we can post it on the blog. In the meantime, you can Google it or go on YouTube and see who else has other swing flag videos that they've posted so you can see other ideas for how to use them. Anyway, happy worshiping. Bless you.